We're back on it. It's the very next day from where I left off. I decided that I would do the right thing and steal the oil pump from my brother-in-law's. And then when I get the new parts for this one, I'll just put them on there. They're identical. The only thing wrong with this one, there's two things, and they're very minor. That clip is actually broke, and the way that it is on there right now, it would be good, because that end right there gets pinched up against metal and it ain't gonna go nowhere. But I ordered one because they're cheap. And then that plug, you can see the gook in there. It's actually plastic and it got heated up and melted. All it is supposed to be a plug, so I ordered one of those. Everything else is identical, so I stolified his and put it in mine. Alright, so I just put the flywheel on and this, that thing. And I've already installed down there, underneath all this, there's a tiny little O-ring. And it's tiny. I have a second one, just in case. Oops. Come on. Come on. What happened? Guess I better readjust all that. I want to show what it looks like, just in case somebody else. You can find this on the diagram. I was on a YouTube video where the guy said he had never seen these on the diagrams, and so he put them together before without that O-ring. And some guys don't use the O-ring and they put some sealant around the sleeve and just bypass using this O-ring. I was told that it was really tricky to get those in there, and I don't know, I don't think I had a problem, so I just went ahead and put it in there. This is not going to work. I don't have enough room in there. Anyway, that's the O-ring. And that goes over top of this first. Going to driver's education?
See.
She is, not him. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you. And then you take the sleeve, which there's an extra right there, and you put some lubrication around this end of it on the outside. Seems how that's a spare. Let's put it in here. Slide that down in there and carefully push the O-ring down inside, and then you gotta kind of turn it and push downwards to get it to go through the seal. Then there's a little flat washer that goes on over top of that sleeve and seats down on there. Then I don't know if I'm gonna get the order right here. Then you put your oil pump in, and then there is this I forgot what they call it. See that black thing down in there? It's you can see kind of the edge of it right in here, down in there. This slot fits over top of that, and as that spins around, it turns that and pumps the oil. Clutch, drum, bearing, drive sprocket, washer and clip, and that's the end of that. And now I got to put this handle together, and oh, I don't like this part. I had to look on a diagram to see which that white plastic piece. I didn't know what way it went, so I installed it the way it looks like it is on the diagram, and makes sense, I reckon. And so now what you want to do is you put your handle all the way forward that way, because that releases the most attention on the spring. Pay attention. And then you can squeeze that down in there. But I get these screws out, get the cover ready to get on there. This already went boing on me. It went boing, and it all landed right here, so I was good. All right, next.
So far, I got this put in with no boing
happening, and I'm very happy about that. I guess I can tighten the clutch down now. Where's my clutch tightener downer? Oh, great. I just had it. There it is. Homemade one. Now, this came from a socket set. It's Ho Chi Minh. I've had it since the 80s. This will be good for about 3 uses, and then those will break off. And I wasn't about to use a good socket. I need to go to like Habitat or somewhere and get some old sockets that I don't feel bad about grinding up, because you only pay, 50 cents or something. Go ahead and put that on there. And then, obviously I don't have it even, it's kind of sitting cockeyed, but I can always dress that up, but why when it's going to break those ears off? And then you got to get the Popo Man. I'll tell you what, I really do like this. I got it on Amazon, and it wasn't that much. I don't remember the price, but that thing works really good. And you have different torques here. You have a button for the battery indicator. Okay, well, I got that put back together without any mishaps, I tell ya. The side is complete. This side, I might just go ahead and put the ignition module on there right now. You know what? I'm not going to, because we got wires and stuff. I can go ahead and put the top end on, and let's go ahead and get that done. Now you need to have this handle off to get the top end on when you have all of that hooked together. But you don't need to take all that back apart. Just remove this screw right here, and you can just pull that off. So, I think I'll go ahead and put this plate on back here first. Alright, I think we left off with that business there. So, I put that on. I got this surface prepped. I put a little bit of sealant, thin coat, on the bottom side of this gasket, put it on there. Now I am going to, I've got new rings. I thought since I had this apart, might as well put new rings on there. Cylinder looks good. I put the new rings on the piston. I've started, put it on there, but it wasn't drawn down right, and I couldn't turn the engine over all the way. So I took it back apart, and I had a hard time getting this back off of there. Right now, the rings are not even on the piston, and I can't fit the piston all the way in there and run it smoothly like it should be. I don't have a hone big enough for that. If this was one size smaller cylinder, it would work. So So I guess I'm gonna have to take it into the store tomorrow, see if they have a bigger hone. See if we can make it work. Otherwise, and I don't want to have to do this, but I'll have to buy a new cylinder. I don't want to do that. It's not even scored inside there. There's, I mean, nothing. No thing. The piston looks good. The only thing I can figure is it got hot and warpled, maybe. So I guess we find out another day. For you, it'll be the next clip. All right. Back on this again. I had to hone out the jug. The lower end of it is what something was wrong there. There was no marks or anything, but anyway, we got it. Got her in there. Put it back together. Big mistake on my part was reusing this half. This is the original one to the saw. I should have used the other half to this one that I bought from the other place. Anyway, I should have, because the ding-along that owned this prior to me, they stripped out this hole and had a helicoil put in, which they did a good job, and used a bigger screw, bigger diameter. This hole here, I've not figured out yet. I haven't tried to look to see if that one's even supposed to have threads. This must have loosened up, and they just kept running it, and it wallered out the hole on this one, and I had to take a tap and clean up the threads, go with a longer screw here because the top of the threads were gone. Plenty enough in there to bite it, so it's good now. But I wish now I would have just used the other half. And it's possible to get these. They're not rivets, they look like it, but they're actually screws. I'd like to see the machine or the tool that actually screws those in. But if you can get a bite on them with pliers or vice grips, and then I could have changed the tags so that at least the right tag was on there, which it just gives you the information, and I'm just rattling on now, trying to figure out how this goes on there and stuff. I got to figure out where the wire comes through. The throttle cable, the white one, comes through this boot. What are you talking about? But the coil wire, I don't know wire it comes through. So I'm still ducking. As soon as I shut the camera off, I found it, and I knew where it was at. It's right there. So, yes, sir. A little tricky getting this vent tube here, and probably not going to see it. There's some green, and that black hose has to go on there. Another problem that I had all this put together, but the throttle cable come unhooked in here, and I fought like crazy trying to get it over the cam. Hooks back here, goes up over a cam, and up through here. So I looked at that one to see how it was, and decided I had to take this handle gas tank back off. I fought with it for probably a half an hour at least, I don't know. And I finally looked up a video on YouTube. The guy said you should be able to change out a cable in 5 minutes or less. Well, I thought there ain't no way, but he did it. Okay, so you just slide this pin out, remove this piece, and everything in there is exposed. Well, I didn't have to replace the cable. I just had to get that wire or the cable in the right spot, through a little slice and over the cam, you know, over the river, through the woods, and stuff like that. So it's on there now. I'm assuming that it's working. I only have one hand. Yep. Okay, so I just need to hook it up over here. That's done. Well, I got everything put back together. I had to rob a couple of parts from my brother-in-law temporarily, one being the spring. Husqvarna wants like 28 bucks or something like that for that spring. Forget it. I ordered one on Amazon for 10 bucks. And then this cover belongs to my brother-in-law's saw. Apparently, what probably happened was the previous owner took that off, set it aside, decided to take it in to have the saw serviced. Turned out to be not worth it for him, so I had to search for one on eBay. I've got one coming for $20. Let's start it. Yeah, let's start it. I'll prop this up over here. I had to put this on the floor before to start it. Let's see if I can hang on to it and start it. Or maybe just start it, you know what, let me try it this way first. Wasn't without a bunch of headaches, so let me tell you. So I get those parts. I've got enough bars. I should be able to find one and some chains. Let me show you. We got bars, and I think the longest I have is 23, 25. Probably go with that one right there. That's an 18 though. Anyway. And then I got some chain. And that one looks like a pretty good one. There. Got a few brand new chains. So I'm happy about that. I was a little nervous at first because when I pulled this, it was tight. And then I remembered to push down the decompression valve. And it started. So, did that rattle out? Maybe I just never tightened it down. Now I can start putting that one together. I'm not going to video that one because it's the same as this one. One last little thing. I had the date of this one wrong. This is a 2015. That's why I was staring at this thinking, where something, there it is, 2015. When I look down here, because it's all scratched up, you can see just above my knuckle, there's a 15. The 2 is missing, and I seen that 96. Well, sounds like they didn't make this in 96. It was a 371. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Ciao.